We meet again in the fall, an exchange arranged by people eager to sew themselves into a narrative of closure. The Voss family had a claim on a parcel of land that my grandfather's trust, the messy, legalized corpse of family wealth, had been hiding like a bad secret. Lucien came with a briefcase that might as well have been a coffin and eyes like a judge's gavel. He was, as I remembered, only more carved. Cheekbones like the edge of a creditor, jaw set as if he were already sentencing me. When he saw me, the first thing that crossed his face was disbelief and then something like hunger. "Miss Moreau," he said. He always used my formal name like it was an invoice. "We can be efficient." "I prefer accuracy," I said. My voice fit the room. Cool, no tremor, the kind they use in depositions to coax the truth from witnesses. I wore a dress that suggested ease and cost in equal measure. Lucien did not like to see me comfortable. Comforted women complicated his narratives. He disliked them the way men dislike witnesses who can read the law better than they can. "You don't need to do this," he said, as if he was informing me of an option and not applying pressure. I could have told him then how many versions of myself I had buried to get to this moment. I could have told him the truth, that I remembered the night of the accident, the coffee-stained documents, the whispers among hedges, the man who loved someone else enough to ruin the one who loved him. But truth, stripped and offered, is a weapon only when used on someone with honor. Lucien did not collect honesty. He collected leverage. "So it seems," I said. Then I let him see that smile, the one that used to make men rush in and women step back. It was a small thing. I kept it practical as a scalpel. He closed the gap between us like a slow threat. His breath smelled faintly of citrus and tobacco. He stood too close for propriety. There is a kind of violence in proximity. It assumes permission where there is none. "You left," he said. "I did what I had to," I replied. The words were a coat I could wear. "You were entitled to your story." He laughed, short and raw. "My story? My story was stolen to fashion you as a villain. I was left with the ruins of a woman I loved." "You were left with your choices," I corrected. My patience was not infinite, but it was well invested. "You cannot sue fate, Lucien." He touched the photograph pinned to the carved frame behind me, a hand that had once been steady enough to sign documents with the confidence of gods. "You wanted power. You wanted everything. You didn't get it, so you sabotaged the people who could stop you." The accusation was precise and ugly, shaped with the kind of cruelty practiced by men who believed the world owed them loyalty. "Or," I said softly, "you liked the story better when it had villains in it." He took a step back then, like a man who had touched a live wire. "You don't love me," he said, as if it were a discovery. I stopped him because his tone deserved correction. "You do not get to demand another's heart as a reconciliation," I said. "Not even yours." He flinched as if struck. "You used to." "I used to be younger and more inclined to theatrics," I finished for him. That chapter closed. He stared at me as if I had performed a minor betrayal. It was a look I would learn to give myself when I needed to be cruel to survive. It had nothing to do with him.